Today I just kind of want to go over both of these cars and the differences of them and why I kind of feel you need both a turbocharged and a naturally aspirated Honda Civic Si, whether it be a coupe or a sedan. Are you guys seen some videos on this car? It's a recent pickup. This car is got a lot of goodies on it. It's a 2011 Honda Civic Si. It's got a PRL turbo kit. They discontinued this kit about 2 years ago after owning a Sidewinder car where the turbo is placed over here. I realized the stock location ram horn cars not only sound better engine-wise, but they're just a better car to drive. Boost control on this car is excellent. Boost control on my Sidewinder turbo coupe was excellent as well, but this car is just better. It's got a K24A RBB3 built SuperTech valve train, SuperTech seals, stock K24A camshafts. So it's equivalent to like a 0608 K24A2 here in America. This is an imported engine, had low miles, around 40 to 60,000 miles. It's got a stock RBC intake manifold that comes with these 06 to 11 8th gen SIs. It's got a large Pulsar 69 millimeter dual ball bearing turbo T51R mod. You can hear that in some of the previous videos if you want to see what that sounds like. This Pulsar turbo is basically a Borg-Warner SXE with dual ball bearing. So it spools up pretty quick. This is a stock bottom end car. I believe from the factory, these are 11:1 compression ratio. And being 2.4 liters, it does light up pretty quick. It's got a Turbo XS RFL blow-off valve. He adapted to it. He's got several cash cans set up here, including one port from the back of the valve cover. This is not the most sleek setup, I will say, compared to like a dual dash 10AN setup. It looks all aesthetic, but I will say the shit works. He does have the PCV valve capped off. There's a few deletes I need to do, like the IACV delete. He just kind of capped those off. I tidied up a few other things I noticed here on the car. But overall, it's got a gear-driven built transmission from Dale over in Florida with an M Factory LSD. The GearX V2 gears with the straight cut first gear. Sounds really cool daily driving it. And full catless V-band downpipe to go with that. Made it to a full race, a 3-inch exhaust. This is the best sounding exhaust I believe was made for this platform. It also sounds great NA. That car right there also has a full race exhaust as well. Catless header. I'll get into that one in a moment. 4-piston oil pump can handle up to 11,000 RPM without oil cavitation, which I believe is really impressive. This car is full interior, full AC. It has a 3-port boost controller. Right now it's tuned on pump gas. It makes anywhere from 13 to 15 pounds of boost on the tune that Brian has put on there currently. We worked with on the street. I do plan to hopefully go up to Dallas and tune this car on his dyno. Ideally, I would like the same piston and rod setup, the budget bottom end that my coupe had, to be in this car so that I could rev it out a little more. That car was K24A4 from an Accord with scat rods, nipping pistons, and a K20Z3 head. And so I revved that one out to 9,100 with a Type S oil pump. I truly believe that it's a budget setup that is worth it. I proved them to be reliable so much so that my tuner ended up building a short block with the same components. because I only rev this stock bottom end up to 8,200 RPM on pump gas. I believe on E85 we're going to stay there as well. My tuner doesn't feel that the K24 rides like a lot of RPM due to the stroke and bore design. Piston speed gets way too high for a stock ride. But at the same time, I like money. And if somebody gives me the asking price for this car, considering what I paid for it, I would sell it in a heartbeat. The fuel system is a dual Walbro 450 pump setup, dash 10 feed, dash 8 return, all the various electronics. It's got full AM gauges. So I just replaced the fuel pressure gauge. I have an AM face coming for it. You got oil pressure, wideband, and a boost gauge there. Honda Flash Pro is about almost 800 bucks new. I also have an innovative flex fuel gauge over there with flex sensor. I can wire that up to the ECU like I did on my coupe, which would allow Honda to run flex fuel. So right now I'm currently working on the battery location. That's the one thing he didn't have buttoned up when he sold me this car. The battery was just literally laying back here. There's a lot of battery acid that has ran out of that basic battery over there. We'll swap it out for a 51R Optima yellow top soon. But overall, man, this car, I bought it, didn't do anything to it. Oil has been changed. It already had an appointment scheduled with Humble Performance, and they were actually going to tune it for him. I told him, hey, just cancel that. I'm going to go ahead and tune the car myself and do what I need to do with it. It did have some hail damage. This car was up in Dallas. The guy moved from Pennsylvania. And so you can see a little bit of hail damage here and there on the car. I won't say a little bit, a lot bit. But for what I paid for this car, dude, I could pull the whole swap and drivetrain out, go find another FA5, stick it in if I wanted to, or I can pay a couple grand and have the whole car PDR'd. The clear coat and paint is immaculate, being a 2011. The chassis only had 123,000 miles, and I believe it's 3 owners. This happened from this fuse box cover flying off and hitting the manifold and melting. Very sleeper look. Pretty much drives like stock. It's got a 4.38 final drive. I want to also mention, should have mentioned, you've seen the videos of the pull on pump gas. The timing is conservative, being that I am in a very hot environment in the summertime. But I feel like the car is around 500 wheel right now on pump gas. That's more than enough for a car that weighs 3,100 pounds. It is sitting on some accurate TL waffle wheels, and I do have a set of Brembo brakes from a Hyundai Genesis over here. I may talk about those more one day, and some very large rotors for those. This kit is damn near new, but this car will hook on these shitty fucking tires in third gear. Really impressive. Really impressive. It just goes. Tall gearing, front wheel drive, boost. You're going to win on the street. You're hooking and booking. Like, you're just rolling out. You're not doing a bunch of gear bang, bounce it off limiter. Up to a certain point. Now you start making certain power levels. Now you're back to square one. And in a perfect world, I'd probably keep this car. And I would probably wait for the S1 all-wheel drive kit to come out for it. There's a couple other companies in the works too. You know, grab some CRV stuff, CRV casing, rebuild the trans with that. I also do like a wagon diff, or even a CRV diff. I've never launched the car. I never even launched this car with front-wheel drive. I feel it's useless. I don't really like beating on cars, so I'm a roll racer when it comes to this shit. I just prefer to do rolls. But otherwise, the car is pretty reliable. Only thing I do need to do, aside from relocate the battery, is I need to recharge the AC. So when he actually, I guess, pulled the swap out and let all the Freon out, he didn't know you need to vacuum before you can recharge the system. So it doesn't have a proper recharge. I do have a brand new Denso AC compressor in the trunk that I bought from a guy unopened, brand new in box. I also have a CMC clutch master cylinder kit from Hard Motion. This company, this website sells, they really specialize in Honda parts, but specifically Asian. They have a lot of Asian parts. I have some OEM style headlights here. So the headlights also don't work correctly. Okay, they're really dim. If you've seen the nighttime pulls, this headlight is not even freaking working. Like, so gotta swap back to OEM style, which is my preference anyway. I'm really an OEM plus guy. This car over here is not me. You know what I'm saying? I just bought this car for a steal and to really resell and to kind of, you know, just experience naturally aspirated again. So let's talk about that.